Welcome to the Hey Legal Quiz with me, Edith Forrest. The aim of this quiz is to provide some light-hearted entertainment during lockdown and beyond. I'll be asking 20 questions of leading Scottish legal figures, questions which give insight to their careers and their lives beyond the law. So let's begin. So I'm joined today by Sheriff Morris, who's agreed to take the Hey Legal Quiz. Thank you very much, Sheriff Morris, for joining us.
No problem.
Okay. Nominated by Lord Matthews, kindly. So we'll just get started with the quiz. Question number one is, if you weren't a lawyer, what would you be?
I'd probably have been a vet.
Okay. That was my answer as well.
Yeah, all my hires are in scientific subjects, but I wasn't very good at it. But yeah, I fancied being a vet when I was young.
So what changed then during the course of your life to take you down the legal route?
I got into university to do law, basically, so that was mainly it, yes.
Okay, all right. Did you have a nickname at school? And if so, what was it and why were you given it?
I didn't have a nickname as such at school, but all my adult life I've been known as John, but both in primary and secondary school I was known as Johnny. Okay. Mainly because there was a very famous Johnny Morris when I was young, who was on the telly quite a lot. So I was called Johnny until I went to university.
And was he the chap that spoke to the animals?
That's the man.
I'm showing my own age now.
Well, I wasn't going to say that, Edith. I thought you probably you hadn't heard of him, but you obviously have.
Sadly, yes. Was it Animal Magic that he...
Animal Magic, that's it, yes. It was the bane of my life when I was a child because I had the same name as he had. So.
Oh, dear. All right. Question 3 is, were you a swotty type at school?
Not at all. Not in the slightest.
Really? Were you interested in school or?
Not particularly, no. It came as a shock to me when I was a wee boy that you couldn't just give up, because everybody had built up going to school as being the great thing in your life, and I'd gone for a while and I thought, well, I've had enough of it now, I'll just stop. And I was quite shocked to realise you couldn't stop. Okay. And you had to keep going.
Yeah. Okie doke. But you obviously did well enough to get good grades, get to university. So was it just a matter of just having to just get on with it and carry on?
Yeah, you had to apply yourself at the last minute to get through exams. That was basically it, yes.
Cramming.
Very much so.
Yeah, all right. Question number 4 is, what was your first job?
I was a labourer on a building site when I was 16.
Okay. And did that kind of, how did you go on doing that? Did you enjoy it? Introduce you to the kind of reality of life?
Well, that sort of galvanised you to get your hires. Because I knew I didn't want to do that for the rest of my life.
So how long did you do that for? Was that just...
In fact, I think every summer, it was just a summer job.
Right.
Every summer job I ever did galvanised to make sure that I got to university, basically. Because I knew I didn't want to do any of them for the rest of my life.
Yeah, absolutely. Question number 5 is, how do you define success?
Having enough money to buy good wine on a regular basis.
Okay, fair enough.
That's how I would regard success.
Fair enough.
Yep.
And probably moving on then, or just continue with that theme, the next question is, what is your favourite drink?
Wine.
Yeah? Yeah.
Okay. I'm quite partial to Belgian beer as well, and the odd Bloody Mary, but wine mainly.
Mm-hmm. Lord Matthews told us about his favourite, I think his favourite drink. He gave us quite a number of drinks, but I think his ultimate favourite, a pina colada. Do you ever indulge in those?
I'm not a great fan of cocktails.
No.
Other than the odd Bloody Mary.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Question number 7. What don't you like about your job?
Getting up and going to it. Basically, just getting up in the morning and having to go. Once you get there, it's all right, but actually getting up and going to it is not great.
Yeah, just getting yourself organised.
More or less, yes. Getting up, basically.
Okay, question number 8. Which was your most memorable case to date?
God, probably the Amanda Duffy case.
Okay.
Because it had a lot of publicity and still rears its head every time the not proven verdict comes up. So it's probably the most memorable one. There have been so many, to be fair, Edith, but I think that's probably the most memorable one.
Yeah. Just in terms of the reasons you've given, or the evidence itself, or what particularly sticks in your mind about that case?
Well, it was a very horrible case and a very tragic case. So she was a very young girl and she was brutally murdered. But, I thought the evidence was more than sufficient to have the young man convicted, but the jury didn't agree. So. Yeah.
And I suppose those are the kind of ones that not haunt you, but they stick in your mind for certain reasons, don't they?
Well, they come up Amanda Duffy's name appears regularly when any time the not proven verdict is discussed. That comes up.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's no avoiding it for you.
I am regularly reminded of it, so that's probably why it's the most memorable.
Okay. Question number 9 is, tell me one thing that would surprise me about you.
I used to press wildflowers.
Really?
Yes.
And do you still press the odd flower, or?
No, I don't.
So where did that interest come from?
Oh, years ago. My dad and I used to go walking every weekend, and I used to collect wildflowers and press them later on, and books of them.
And have you still got them?
No.
That's a nice thing to do. I remember doing that myself when I was young, but I don't know that I would know how to do it now, because you have to make sure that they're properly dried.
Oh God, yes, it's a fairly rigorous process. That's probably why I don't do them now. Well, don't do it now.
All right, question number 10 is, what traits in others irritate you the most?
People, particularly politicians, who are asked questions and don't answer them properly at all. That really annoys me.
Skirting
happening quite a lot at the moment, as many politicians are being questioned, and I listen to the question because we're trained to do very carefully, and then I listen to the answer and you realise halfway through they're not answering the question. That annoys me.
Yeah, that's a skill that they must be proficient in before they become.
I'm sure they go to lessons to perfect that skill. Absolutely. But yes, that annoys me.
Okay. Question number 11 is, what are your favourite flavour of crisps?
Ready salted.
Okay. No fancy flavours, no messing about with them?
When I was younger, I really liked smoky bacon, but nowadays, ready salted.
Okay, keep it simple.
Yep.
All right. Question 12. What book would you recommend everyone should read?
Oh, that's an easy one. My favourite book of all time is The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich by William L. Shirer.
Okay. How many times have you read that?
Oh, I never read books more than once.
Oh, really? Okay, but that's your favourite?
Yes. Yeah.
And why would you say everyone should read it? What would people benefit from in reading that?
Well, it gives you a very good insight into the beginnings and during the last unpleasantness, and I think everybody should know about that.
Absolutely.
And what went on. And Shirer actually stayed in Berlin during most of it, so it's a very good insight.
Right. Okay. Good answer. All right. Question 13 is, do you have any irrational fears?
Not very fond of buttons.
Okay. And is that if they're attached to clothing, or just buttons in general, or?
More so when they're loose.
Okay. And do you know where that comes from? Can you remember it?
I haven't a clue, Edith, but it's been with me all my life. So
right.
I don't like loose buttons at all.
And how would you deal with that if you encountered a loose button on your jacket or something? What would you have to do?
I'd get rid of it.
Okay. All right. Okay. Question 14. How old are your oldest pair of shoes?
I have a pair of golf shoes that must be pushing 40 years old.
My goodness. Okay, I think you win so far with the oldest pair of shoes. I can't remember the oldest pair yet, maybe 23 years old.
No, I've got a pair of golf shoes that are certainly 40 years old.
Okay, and are they now in retirement, or do you?
Oh, yeah, very much so, yes, yes. Yeah.
Okay. Question 15 is, who has had the biggest influence on your career in the law?
That's another easy one. That was John Fitzsimons, who was my criminal law lecturer at university. Okay. Very nice man, very good lecturer. And it's him. In fact, his career is my career is all his fault.
Is that right?
Yes.
What way? How did he influence that?
Well, he just gave me an interest in the criminal law, which never really left me. I've been stuck with it ever since.
Okay. So
could have made a lot more money. Could have made a lot more money if I hadn't.
When you started your degree, was it criminal law you always saw yourself doing, or? I had
a hankering for criminal law, yes, but he cemented that. He was very good.
It's amazing, though, that people like that can make such a difference in someone's life.
I'm not alone. I think of my era at university, I think you'll find a lot of the ones who do criminal law now or did criminal law were influenced by him as well. I think you'll find a few people will mention him.
Right.
Because he was very good. No longer with us, but he was very good.
An inspiring person by the sounds of him.
He was. He was a very down to earth and a very nice person.
Yeah, great. Question 16, your favourite chocolate bar?
I don't have a favourite chocolate bar, but I do love white chocolate. Good white chocolate.
Okay, just as long as it's good, that's the
good white chocolate. Usually Belgian, but white chocolate. I love white chocolate.
All right. Question 17, what is the fanciest event you have ever been to?
Yeah. I went to reception in Charlotte Square under a marquee many years ago that was hosted by Princess Anne. Mm-hmm. I think that was probably the poshest thing I've been to.
Okay. And did you speak with her at the event?
No.
No. Kept well away, were you?
I was kept very well away, yes.
All right. Question 18 is, what quirks do you have?
I thought about this one. One quirk, I'm not very keen in going home and into an empty house.
Okay.
I don't like that. Funny enough, my father was the same. So it's obviously a hereditary thing.
And is that are you scared, or are you just not liking being on your own?
No, I'm not scared. I just don't like it. Okay. I don't know why. It's irrational, but I just don't like it.
Yeah. Well, question 19. What is the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Probably the best piece of advice was if a Sheriff Clark ever asks you if you need any writing time, the answer is always yes.
Did you learn that fairly quickly?
Oh, yes, and it's a piece of advice I pass on. Many people.
It sounds sound advice indeed. Question number 20. What job would you be terrible at?
Anything involving my hands, basically.
Right.
I've got very good hand-eye coordination and always did have, but as far as doing anything with my hands, like DIY or anything like that, I can't cut in a straight line, for instance. I find it impossible. So anything like that, I just would be absolutely appalling at.
Have you ever made any kind of DIY attempts at home, or?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
And I imagine paid a lot of money to get them fixed. Is that fair?
Well, my partner won't let me do any of them anymore, so she does them all. That's the safest way to do it. I'm terrible, absolutely terrible.
Oh dear. Question 21. What is the weirdest talent that you have?
I can juggle.
Okay. And where did you pick that up?
I taught myself to do it years ago when I was quite young.
Just something you'd always wanted to try, or was it?
Yeah, it was just out of boredom, I suppose. But I always wanted to juggle, so I taught myself to juggle. It took me ages, but I can juggle.
And you can still do it?
I don't do it very often now, but I used to juggle anything, glasses and stuff like that, which had some dire consequences at times. But I was a reasonable juggler, but I don't do it very often anymore. I've got a touch of arthritis, so it makes it more difficult.
Okay, I was just thinking if I'd known that you could have brought something to juggle, or you might have something.
It would probably have been dropped. So, I can juggle.
Okay, and we've got to the end of the quiz. So, question 22. What have you enjoyed most about lockdown?
Edinburgh being absolutely empty and being able to wander the streets and with nobody there. It's quite eerie, but it's quite good fun to walk along Princess Street and when there's nobody there and no traffic. It's quite bizarre.
It is. I was through in Edinburgh for a court hearing and just on the Royal Mile, and it just is. I think it's because it's usually so busy. Seeing it empty.
That's right, but it's getting a bit busier now. But there was a time because we take our exercise walk round the city centre basically because we're not very far from the city centre. Right. So we've seen it when it's been really, really, really quiet. It's quite bizarre.
It is quite nice though in a way, isn't it? Well,
it is. Yeah.
You're saying.
I think I'll be quite resentful when it goes back to normal.
That's true.
I don't have the city to myself anymore.
Absolutely, I know. Well, thank you so much for taking the quiz. That's been really interesting. Your great answers. And before I let you go, can I just ask you to nominate someone else to take the quiz?
Yes, Eddie Targowski. He'll be good at it.
Okay, we'll try Ed and see what he says to that. But thank you so much for your time, Sheriff Morris. You've been a really great guest, and I hope you continue to enjoy the peace of the city. And hope to see you soon.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks you. All right. Bye-bye. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Hey Legal Quiz. We are releasing more episodes weekly, so please sign up for free to Hey Legal on our website to access our free content, legal updates and more. Plus follow us on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram and on all podcasting platforms.